Hey there, Photo Universe. Okay, everybody's in a tizzy over this K5 IIs, and it's really on the forums and things. It's pretty passionate, so that's good. You know, we're at the point where the cameras are just all so good now. We're talking about we're starting to argue about things that nobody's ever going to see, and 95% of the people buying these cameras are never going to utilize these features. That's where we're at. I kind of realized that this morning. You get a K5, and 95% of people are never going to come up against the slow focusing, and the focal. Very rare, unless you're trying to use it professionally. And then even then, so at the football game, I went out there and T3i, K5, K5 IIs. The skill, my abilities made the difference. Not that it was like my skill was what got the shots. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is my skill was the limiting factor. Okay, guy rolls up from the local newspaper with a Canon 60D and a 70 to 300 millimeter f4.56 zoom, and he's a professional shooting for the newspaper. He's a photo editor, and the guy's doing the job. I mean, my gear absolutely, totally, and completely outclassed his gear, and I think his shots were better. Right? He shoots sports all the time, and I don't. I mean, I've done it. What does that tell you? Okay, we're at the point now where the gear, it's skill. It's a lot of people are trying to. I mean, that's why there's so many people involved in photography right now, because it's not hard anymore. I mean, back in the day when in 1980s, when they had finally put automatic exposure modes in cameras, in order to get a shot, you had to pick focus, manual focus, right? And the metering, I mean, you had to kind of understand metering. There was no, I mean, evaluative metering is going to get you 90% of the way there. Okay, and people are still, it doesn't meter for 5% of your shots. It used to be the meter would only get 5% of your shots right, unless you overrode it and knew what you were doing. So where are we? We're at the point where 90% of your shots are going to come out okay, and 10% aren't. And it's that 10%. You still need to know what you're doing. It's still skill, and that's what I mean. So it's over the past 2 years. What have I learned? Well, you know what? I learned that the K5 with the kit lens, unless I might have gotten a bad kit lens, really can't do a 16 by 20 landscape, 16 by 24 landscape. When I went to Eagle Cap, the 18 to 55 weather resistant lens, the 16 by 24s weren't compelling. I'll put it to you that way. Most people would be thrilled with them. They weren't up to my fine art quality standards. Shoot 5D Mark II with any of the Canon L series lenses, as long as you have a decent copy of the lens, all day long. Okay, fish in a barrel. All right, K5 IIs, probably same thing. Too early to tell. I can tell you with authority, the 5D Mark II with a decent quality L series Canon lens, or some of their other decent quality lenses, if you get a good copy, is capable of making 16 by 24 inch fine art quality prints all day long if you do your part, if you don't screw something up. Okay, K5 can do it, but not as well. Most people would probably be thrilled, but most people would be happy with what the K5 does. I'm talking about the original K5. Okay, K5 IIs might be able to do what the Canon 5D Mark II does. Jury's still out. Alright. But we're really at the point where, unless you're making 16 by 24 inch prints, if you're making 8 by 10s, 11 by 14s, it doesn't matter. Buy any camera you want. Seriously, it just doesn't matter. Buy any SLR you want and get a decent lens. Really. And that's where we're at. So we're splitting. We're really down to the point where we're splitting hairs, and it doesn't matter. And the K5 IIs is interesting. And that, it really comes down to interest. and so that's where we're at. And the football game, I mean, the Canon did it, the 70-200 2.8L Mark II, beautiful lens. The Tamron 70-200 2.8 $770 lens did the job. The guy rolled up with a 50 to 75 to 300 4.5/5.6 zoom, and it did the job because he knew what he was doing. So it's interesting times. If you have a K5 and it's getting the job done for you, be happy, because you're not getting anything better. If you really want to make large prints, probably get yourself a full frame. Or if you want to experiment with the K5 2S and make large prints and then see what you get. What I'm saying to you is, until it's going to take months for me to make large prints, because I need to go someplace where I want to. I mean, I could go in the backyard and photograph it. I mean, yeah, but I'm just not even that compelled to do that. The K5 2S will prove itself over time, or it won't. I think it's an interesting development. So, PentexForums.com, Adam up there has this morning full res samples, and I'm looking at his full res samples. I'm seeing the same thing on my computer with my samples. So yeah, the K5 2S is and the more is not an issue, and exactly. I mean, I'm coming to the I can corroborate that. So that's where we're at, and I hope that helps somebody wrap their head around it, because we're splitting hairs. All right, that's it with Photo Universe. Thanks a lot.